Okay, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our nutrition presentation. We're very excited to start our spring 2024 sessions. So first we'll have a little icebreaker, and if you could only eat one thing for the rest of your life, what would that be? You can feel free to put your answers in the chat or any other way of communication. Okay, but first, while we're waiting, we can go over what our agenda will look like today. So first, we'll be going over an overview of introduction and a healthy diet. Second, we'll be going over types of vitamins and nutrients. And third, we'll be going over overall benefits of a nutritious diet. And then we'll move on to disorders and myths about nutrition. And finally, we'll have any questions and our conclusion. So first, let's go over some milligram units. In this presentation, we'll mention milligrams, which are just a type of unit. And for scale, you can see that there's 422 milligrams per medium fruit, or like this banana on your screen. So an intro to nutrition. What is nutrition? It's the study of nutrients in food, how the body uses them, and the relationship between diet, health, and disease. And it's very important in promoting healthy pregnancy outcomes and supporting normal growth, as well as supporting our development and aging, helping to maintain a healthy body weight, and reducing risk of chronic diseases.
Many of you may have seen this diagram before. This is a general outline of how your plate should be divided. Keep in mind, everyone is different and the amount of food you take in will depend on your age, gender, height, weight, and your amount of physical activity. The first component you should have on your plate is fruits. Fruits are low in fat and sodium. They're also a great source of nutrients such as potassium, fiber, vitamin C, and folate. Eating the right amount of fruits and a healthy diet can help lower your risk for heart diseases and protect against types of cancer. The second component you should have on your plate is vegetables. Vegetables are low in calories and fat, and they're a good source of potassium, dietary fiber, vitamin A, and vitamin C. Vegetables have many of the same benefits as fruits do, such as lowering your risk for heart disease and protecting against types of cancer.
The third component you should have on your plate is protein. Foods that are full of protein include meat, poultry, seafood, nuts, and soy products. Protein is not only full of nutrients, but it's also building blocks for your bone, skin, muscles, cartilage, and blood. Different sources of protein will give you different nutrients, so it's crucial to have the right. The fourth component you should have on your plate is grains. Foods in this category include bread, pasta, rice, and tortillas. Grains provide a good source of nutrients such as fiber and vitamins. Having a healthy amount of whole grain can lower your risk for heart disease and also help you with healthy digestion. The last component I'm going to talk about is dairy. Some foods in this category are milk, yogurt, and cheese. Foods like cream cheese, butter, and sour cream are not part of this category because they contain high amounts of fat and little calcium. Dairy is a good source of calcium, phosphorus, zinc, potassium, and magnesium. These nutrients improve and promote bone. Next, we'll be moving on to stresses.
Let's talk about calcium. Calcium is a vitamin that all living beings need, including humans. It is the most abundant mineral in the body. People need calcium, and calcium is obtained through food that contains calcium. These foods include dairy products, such as milk, cheese, and yogurt, green leafy vegetables, fishes that you can eat the bones of, such as sardines, and in bread and other grains, such as wheat, pasta, rice, and oatmeal.
The amount of calcium one should take slightly varies based on their age, but it is good to take around 700 milligrams of calcium per day. It is important to note the amount of calcium you take though, because taking too much calcium every day results in nausea, constipation, and vomiting, while taking too little can result in pain and muscle weakness. Taking enough calcium, however, has many benefits. These benefits include better bone health, maintaining strength, muscle contraction, helps your cardiovascular system, lower blood sugar, and better cholesterol. Calcium helps bone health because it allows bones to grow, develop, and help maintain the strength. It helps muscle contraction by helping the proteins in the muscle carry out and relaxing the muscle that surrounds the blood vessels. Okay. And make sure your blood pressure isn't too high, and it helps regulate cholesterol levels, a type of fat in the blood. That was all for calcium. I hope you've learned something new.
We're now going to be moving to vitamin A, also known as retinol or retinol acid. Vitamin A is a fat-soluble vitamin that is found naturally in a variety of foods. It's made up of a group of several carotenoids, most notably beta-carotene. You might be wondering what foods are enriched in vitamin A. These foods include some such as fish, salmon, leafy green vegetables, and other vegetables, like carrots, broccoli, fruits, dairy products, and fortified breakfast cereals, which are cereals that have vitamins added to them. For men, the recommended daily intake of vitamin A should be 900 micrograms, but for women, it's 700 micrograms. For reference, one medium carrot contains around 250 micrograms of vitamin A. In children, the recommended daily intake is less, and for pregnant women, the recommended daily intake is more. However, some people do not get enough vitamin A daily, especially those in poorer nations. Symptoms of vitamin A deficiency include dry skin, frequent infections, and even blindness. Consuming very large amounts of vitamin A all at once can also cause problems including drowsiness, irritability, headache, nausea, and vomiting. Lastly, vitamin A supports normal vision, the immune system, the cardiovascular system, and other organ systems. Thanks for listening. We'll now move on to potassium.
While potassium may commonly known as a chemical element, it is also an important mineral that functions as an electrolyte. Because the body cannot produce any potassium, we have to obtain it from food. Some of the examples are lean meats, whole grains, and vegetables. An adequate intake of potassium is 3,400 milligrams per day for healthy adult males and 2,600 milligrams per day for healthy females.
Consuming too little potassium can lead to serious health issues. However, taking in too much can cause temporary or long-term health issues. For low potassium levels, a doctor may prescribe the mineral in supplement form. If you have a severe deficiency, you may need IV treatment. Potassium deficiencies can also occur due to factors like kidney disease, excessive sweating, diarrhea, or vomiting, or magnesium deficiency and use of antibiotics. Signs of a potassium deficiency includes extreme fatigue, muscle spasms, irregular heartbeat, and constipation. Nausea or vomiting. Potassium overdose may occur when you intake too much potassium. Risk factors include taking too many potassium supplements, kidney disease, prolonged exercise, chemotherapy, and diabetes.
People with potassium overdose, however, rarely have any noticeable symptoms. Potassium is very important for the body because it helps regulate fluid balance and is important for the nervous system, which relays messages between your brain and body, hence explaining why good potassium intake is crucial to maintain healthy nerve function. Now let's move on to the importance of vitamin B.
Now let's learn about vitamin B complex. Vitamin B complex is essentially a group of B vitamins that influence red blood cell growth, how energy is processed, and cell creation. Vitamin B complex is composed of 8 different types of B vitamins. It's not simply one vitamin. As you can see on the table, there are different numbers indicating each type of B vitamin that helps our health. You may recognize some B vitamins like biotin, which have been marketed to promote nail and hair growth, or you may recognize folic acid, which is an essential vitamin that helps the body create new red blood cells. If you were to have a deficiency in folic acid, you could develop folate deficiency anemia, where you don't have enough red blood cells to deliver oxygen throughout your body, and you can get symptoms like fatigue, or numbness or pins and needles in your hands and feet. And by now, you probably understand that the vitamins in vitamin B complex are essential to sustain your health and bodily functions. So how do you obtain these necessary vitamins? Well, B vitamins can be found in dairy, like milk or cheese, meat, beans, shellfish, eggs, whole grains, and much more. Although the amount you should consume largely depends on the type of B vitamin and your gender. For example, it's recommended that women take in 14 milligrams of B3, while it's recommended for men to take 16 milligrams. However, it's recommended for both genders to take 400 micrograms of folic acid, so it really depends what you're targeting. Additionally, pregnant women and elders may be recommended to take more vitamin B. Similar to how B vitamins can come from amazing foods, it provides amazing benefits to our body too. B vitamins can help with cell growth, hormone production, energy, and red blood cell growth. As I mentioned before, it's recommended for pregnant women to take in more B vitamins because it actually helps with fetal brain development and reduces the chances of birth defects. If we go on to the next slide, here's a small fun fact. A majority of foods high in B12 are animal products like meat or dairy products. Thus, it's known that vegans or vegetarians will need to find other sources of B12, such as vegan foods that add B12 or B12 supplements. That's all for vitamin B complex, and we're moving on to magnesium.
All right, hello everyone. So, what is magnesium? You might have heard of this before. It's pretty common. There's magnesium supplements, and it can also be found in sports drinks such as Gatorades and stuff. But what is it? Well, magnesium is a mineral that's very important in the body. It helps control blood pressure and calcium in bones, which keeps your bones strong and keeps your body and your organs such as your heart healthy. So what really does it do though? Well, it helps regulate some hormones that control your calcium growth and is really important for your heart to function. If you didn't have enough magnesium, you would be at higher risk for inflammation in organs such as your heart, and that can really cause issues and can lead to heart diseases. It also, if you don't have enough magnesium, it could lead to osteoporosis, which is bone weakness. Now, how do you get magnesium? It's commonly found in many vegetables, such as leafy greens. It's found in nuts, seeds, whole grains, fatty fish, and more. That's where you can get magnesium, but as I mentioned, it's also in supplements. So yeah, it's really important. And the dosage depends on how much you need based on age and gender. So as you can see, infants might not need as much as adults, but you know, if the more you eat, the more magnesium you're probably gonna get if you eat some magnesium-rich food. So yeah, magnesium can also be found in dark chocolate. It helps lower blood pressure. It reduces the risk for heart disease, and also increases your quality of sleep. So this is something you really don't want to miss out on. However, if you take too much magnesium, it can have the opposite effect and actually cause heart disease and increase your risk for cancer. So yeah, you have to make sure you don't overdose on supplements or eat too much magnesium-rich foods. But overall, it's something you need to have in your body and it's healthy for you. All right, moving on to the next slide. Thank you.
Hello everyone, we'll be moving on to vitamin C. Vitamin C, or ascorbic acid, is a water-soluble vitamin. It has many benefits, so let's talk about what exactly vitamin C does. Well, first, it helps protect your cells and keeps them healthy. It is a powerful antioxidant, meaning it could boost the immune system. Another role is that it helps your body to absorb and store iron. It also helps in maintaining healthy skin, bones, cartilage, bone vessels, and muscles.
All right, so now that we know what vitamin C is and what it does, let's take a look at how much we actually need. Boys between ages 14 and 18 need around 75 milligrams of vitamin C every day, which equates to about 1 cup of fruits or vegetables. Girls between ages 14 and 18 need about 65 milligrams of vitamin C every day, which they could get, for example, from 1 cup of string broccoli. Lastly, children ages 9 to 13 only need about 45 milligrams of vitamin C every day, which can be found in any citrus fruit. Again, like I mentioned above, vitamin C can be found in a majority of fruits and vegetables, including broccoli, bell peppers, and Brussels sprouts, citrus fruits like oranges and lemons, as well as strawberries, kale, kiwi, papaya, and more. While vitamin C is crucial in keeping your body healthy, it's important to make sure that you don't consume too much vitamin C, as it can cause headaches, stomach aches, and cramps. Thank you. We'll move on to the next slide.
Okay, now moving on to phosphorus. Phosphorus is one of the many minerals in your body, and it's the second most plentiful in your body, right under calcium. And it's largely due to its purpose, which is to strengthen your teeth and bones alongside calcium. Phosphorus also has many purposes, such as balancing pH or acidity of our blood and turning fats, carbs, and protein into energy. Since phosphorus is so important, we require a large amount, especially when growing to the 9 to 18-year range. We need about 1,250 milligrams of phosphorus every day. Once we stop growing, we need 700 milligrams. So where do we get phosphorus? There are many sources of phosphorus. Natural is usually ideal. These can be obtained through meat, dairy, beans, grains, and nuts. Artificial sources are processed foods like snacks, sodas, etc. And of course, supplements. You might be wondering, how much of your body works and needs a balance of calcium, vitamin D, and phosphorus? Your body can pull calcium from your bones to balance your blood, and if you were to have too much phosphorus, it could lead to weak bones and bone disease. If you were to have too little, then you would have weaker bones also, and there'd be less of building blocks in your bones. And there are also symptoms like fatigue and pain. To keep phosphorus balanced, your kidneys regulate your phosphorus to your body. That's all for phosphorus, and we'll move on to vitamin D.
So you guys probably heard that you get vitamin D from the sun, and that's true. When the UV rays come in contact with your skin, that's what produces vitamin D. And vitamin D is a fat-soluble vitamin, which means that it uses the help of protein and fat in the body as carriers to get around the body because their movement is kind of limited. And if you want to obtain vitamin D, you can eat food like fatty fish, like salmon, trout, and tuna, as they contain plenty of fat. You can eat beef, turkey, and eggs. Or you can also take it from the alternative way, sunlight. And the recommended daily amount is 15 micrograms. Of course, this varies. People ages 71 years and older is recommended to take 20 micrograms. Or if you want to take it by the sun, a recommended weekly amount is 5 to 30 minutes between 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. daily. And it's specifically in that time range because that is actually when the sun is at its peak, when there's like the most sunlight. And you would want to do it at least 2 times or several times a week. So why do you even need vitamin D? The vitamin basically helps absorb elements such as calcium, magnesium, and phosphate so that you're able to structure and strengthen your bones. And a lack of vitamin D can lead to things such as bone abnormalities, have a higher risk of type 2 diabetes, and higher blood pressure.
All right, now let's move on to iron. Iron is a mineral that is crucial for our body for the production of hemoglobin, which is a complex protein found in red blood cells. Hemoglobins have regions called heme groups, which are highly attracted to oxygen molecules, and therefore hemoglobin is able to carry oxygen from the lungs to all the parts of our body. Fun fact, there are approximately 270 million hemoglobin molecules, that's 27 followed by 7 zeros, on a single red blood cell, and each hemoglobin is able to carry 4 oxygen molecules, which gives you an insight into the importance of iron in delivering oxygen to all of our body cells. Iron also makes myoglobin, which is a protein that provides oxygen to muscles specifically. Iron is beneficial for concentration, reducing fatigue, helping with sleep, and much more. The human body acquires its iron through rich meats, poultry, beans, spinach, nuts, and many more. In some cases, people develop iron deficiencies when they do not obtain enough iron naturally and can develop iron deficiencies like anemia and much more. And they must take iron dietary supplements to help build their immunity. Now let's discuss the recommended amount of iron for humans and the risks of overconsumption.
Usually, men are recommended to take 8 milligrams of iron per day, and women are recommended to take 18 milligrams of iron. Children may need more iron due to puberty and faster growing stages. Those with too much iron may have the condition hemochromatosis. People who genetically inherit the trait have primary hemochromatosis, and those who develop it through different environmental factors have secondary hemochromatosis. Some of these environmental factors include taking too many iron pills and having some diseases like liver disease. People with hemochromatosis are susceptible to diabetes, arthritis, erratic heartbeat, constipation, nausea, vomiting, and damage to the liver. To prevent these consequences, people get their blood drawn regularly to monitor if they have enough healthy blood cells and aren't low or high on iron. Those with little iron can include pregnant women, frequent blood donors, people with cancer or heart failure, and infants. Now, let's learn about vitamin E.
Hi, now we are going to talk about vitamin E. So what is vitamin E? Vitamin E is a fat-soluble nutrient that is found in many foods. It is a very important nutrient. It is also to vision, reproduction, and the health of your blood, brain, and skin. The reason why it is so important is that it is an antioxidant. For those of you who don't know what antioxidants are, they are substances that protect your cells against the effects of free radicals. Free radicals are molecules that damage cells such as tobacco smoke and radiation. It might play a role in heart disease, cancer, and other diseases. Vitamin E helps protect and slow down the process that damages cells and prevent these diseases in the future. Now we're going to talk about how much we need.
So we need about 15 milligrams of vitamin E every day. And we can get vitamin E from vegetable oils, cereals, meat, poultry, eggs, fruits, and vegetables, wheat, and germ oil. Um, vitamin Vitamin E is a function as an oxidant, and it's a role in anti-inflammatory process. Its inhibition of platelet aggression and its immune enhancing activity. A fun fact of vitamin E is that vitamin E deficiency is actually really rare. It usually occurs in people who don't have a digestive issues, and it's not caused by their diet. People who have this deficiency usually have Crohn's disease, liver disease, and cystic fibrosis, and a rare genetic disorders. Now we're going to be talking about the importance of the benefits of the nutrition diet.
Benefits of a nutritious diet. Now that we've gone over some parts of having a nutritious diet, we can look at the benefits of it. One benefit of a nutritious diet is better heart health. Eating foods such as vegetables, fruits, and grains can be reduced by blood pressure and lower the risk of coronary heart disease, obesity, type 2 diabetes, heart attacks, and strokes. You can do these things by eating fat-free or low-fat products, minimizing your saturated fats and trans fats intake, eating less foods and drinks with added sugars, and limiting your sodium intake to around 2,300 milligrams daily. Consuming foods with fibers can reduce risk for heart disease, strokes, obesity, and type 2 diabetes, while limiting trans fats can reduce the risk for heart attacks and coronary heart disease. Lowering the sodium intakes can help lower pressure. Another benefit of a nutritious diet is that it lowers your risk for certain types of cancers. For example, consuming foods with vitamins A, C, and E, beta carotene, and lycopene can reduce the risk of liver cancer and colorectal cancer, gastrointestinal tract cancers as well. Some foods with these vitamins can be berries such as blackberries, raspberries, and strawberries, greens and vegetables, pumpkins, carrots, nuts, and probiotics, and the list goes on. Can help these helpful bacteria thrive in your colon. These foods include yogurt, kimchi, miso, fiber, sauerkraut, and vegetables. Some of these foods are kind of like fermented foods that can help. The fiber in these foods also help regular bowel movements, which can help prevent bowel cancer and diverticulitis. Eating nutritious foods can also help, or nutritious foods, sorry, can also help improve your memory, as a study in 2015 that found that eating foods with vitamins D, C, and E, omega-3 fatty acids, flavonoids, and polyphenols, and fish protect against cognitive decline, dementia, and memory loss. Weight loss can also come with a nutritious diet, and having a medium weight can help reduce the risk of chronic health issues, as obesity can sometimes lead to heart disease, type 2 diabetes, poor bone health density, and some types of cancers. Many healthy foods that can help you maintain a moderate weight are vegetables, fruits, and beans. A nutritious diet can also help a person manage diabetes if they have been diagnosed with it. Healthy diets can help maintain blood glucose levels, keep blood pressures and cholesterol levels with a target range, completely prevent or delay complications of diabetes, and maintain a moderate weight. Keeping a diet with lots of calcium can help prevent bone or teeth issues in the future, and some foods that are rich with calcium are low-fat dairy products: broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, canned fish, tofu, and legumes. Other foods that can help strengthen bone health and teeth include vegetables, nuts, whole grains, seeds. Healthy sleep can be disrupted if you do not have a nutritious diet. Caffeine and alcohol can disrupt a night of healthy sleep. And you could also develop sleep apnea, which occurs when the airways in your body are blocked while you sleep. Finally, a benefit of a nutritious diet is having a better mood overall. A diet with high glycemic loads and carbohydrates found in soft drinks, cake, white bread, and biscuits can trigger effects of depression and fatigue. That's all the benefits of a nutrition diet, and now we'll be moving on to nutritious disorders.
Nutritional disorders. As we've seen the importance of nutrition and how many benefits it offers, that also means that without the proper nutrition, a number of problems can arise. There are a few nutritional disorders, all differently related to nutrition. First, there is malnutrition. Malnutrition is a condition where the body isn't taking in a sufficient amount of vitamins and such as the ones we went over, which are necessary for your organs to function and your tissues to be healthy. Malnutrition causes stunted growth, weakened immune systems, and affects the body systems as well as the senses. Another nutritional disorder is malabsorption, which is when people aren't able to absorb nutrients from their diet. Malabsorption can result in things such as fragile bones, iron deficiency, anemia, and weight loss. Iron deficiency anemia is actually another type of nutritional iron deficiency. Anemia is when the body doesn't have enough of the mineral iron. When there isn't enough iron, the body can't get enough oxygen, which can make you more tired often and more difficult for you to be.
Some other nutritional disorders are disorders of vitamin absorption, disorders of protein digestion, disorders of fat digestion, and disorder of amino acid absorption. All of these things, vitamins, protein, metal, fats, and amino acids are essentials to keep our bodies happy and healthy. Without the digestion of vitamins such as vitamin A or D, there could be stunted bone growth or bone diseases. Without absorbing amino acids, on the other hand, someone could develop a digestive problem, grow slower, having lower mental awareness, have decreased immunity, and more. Lastly, obesity and growth problems are some of the more common nutritional disorders. Obesity can then lead to a number of different health conditions and have a bigger effect on your functions, memory, mood, and more. Overall, without getting the proper amount of right nutrients, it can result in a number of difficult nutritional disorders, all having bigger effects, especially in your growth. That covers nutritional disorders.
Okay, and if anyone has any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. But that's all we had for you today. This is our social media information. If you want to connect with us, we have an Instagram. You can contact us through email. And then we have a new website, Youth and Pre-Med at wixsite.com. And then we also have articles featured on our Instagram at The Weekly Med. And if you don't have any questions, thank you so much for coming today. Our next session is on February 25th, and we're actually going to be talking about rare genetic disorders or rare medical diseases, including genetic disorders and a wide range of diseases. And our intern Trisha is actually going to be giving that presentation, so super excited. And thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you for our volunteers, and have a good weekend, and we'll see you next week.